What's up, you guys? Travis with YuGiOh. Have a cool deck for you, Salamangreat. It's gonna be great. It made YuGiOh great again. That's it for sure. Cameraman's a little bit full of cringe right now, but I'm gonna show you guys this deck. I love it. I think Konami's done a great job with this structure deck. Did a couple cool things. Did a lot of new rarity bumps. So everything's coming out to be more like Japan now, in my opinion. A lot of great changes I can see. I tip my hat off to them. They've been doing great. They've been doing great with their events, great with their product releases. I have no complaints with Konami right now. So let's get into the deck. Okay, guys, let's get into this deck file. But before I start, I want to shout out Kamal. It's the reason I have this nice mat. Selling it, obviously. Not into mats really, but just want to give him a big shout out. I only top because of his deck. I suck. I don't really play that much anymore. But I still look, I'm getting more into YuGiOh. I love it again. So again, big shout out to Kamal the GOAT. So 3 Salamangreat Gazelle, start of the deck, kind of like Zodiac wrap here. Gets you started into your instant links, dump something so you can add it back later. This graveyard's very graveyard eccentric, and then adding stuff back to your hand is like the theme, and like getting a lot of free resources. Salamangreat Spiny, probably the best like level 3 spam in your deck. Free, helps you go into YuGiOh, which I'll show you in a second. Your Jack Jaguar, important card, free resource in the graveyard. Deck revolves around him. A lot of decks play weird Salamangreat monsters like tech cards, but I feel like he's the only necessary one, and your extra deck's just utility. So it's kind of like Zoo. You don't want to play any weird stuff, and you just want to be very basic, and then stun your opponent with stun cards that are very like generic for the format. Lady Debug, staple. We all know that card is very good in this deck. Your Terratop Engine. I'm kind of iffy on this, but it's kind of necessary just to have an auto win. Like if your Stalio resolves off Terratop, you kind of usually win the duel. It's too many free cards and too much you know, negation for just one card. Bailers, which are important in the mirror match. It's one of the better hand traps right now, and it's cheap. So this build's kind of like very cheap, budgety, but at the same time standard. So you guys can use as a base. I'm not a big fan of Baylor, but I think it's really good. 3 Ash Blossom, which you can get common. Just Machado's a baller, so he wants to use these. This is Machado's deck, so I'm just showing it off, but I'll be using it too probably. 3 Salamangreat Circle. Broken card, Rhoda, or it's just a trap card on your opponent's turn. Basically, it's target 1 Salamangreat link monster you control that was link summoned using a monster with the same name as material. That link monster is unaffected by monster effects this turn except for its own. So unless if you're not searching because you drew like 2 and it's a once per turn, so you search and then you set the other one. So it's kind of cool. It's like a very good utility card. Gets you Gazelle. So we're always trying to get to Gazelle. Then we play the package of spells that we can always search. So this is like a mini soul charge, the Will of the Salamangreat. Japan doesn't play it anymore. I think it's good. I don't know, probably we'll take it out later. We'll see. The Sanctuary, which is searchable by your Insta Link. I think they changed the name of this too. Bailey Links. So a lot of name changes here. And then Soul. Your Fusion of Fire, which is great for the summoning the boss monster of the deck, which is the Fusion. This Fusion is known for doing like 12,000 damage. So it's a great card. So yeah, this package is important. You don't want to like kind of right now in the beginning format. They're just good to test out and good utility. 3 Called by the Graves. Staple in this deck. You have to play this card. If not, you're crazy. Any deck that can play this card, play it. Pick this card up too. I think it's gonna go to like $5 soon, so it's gonna be a $5 common probably in a couple months or a month. Pick this card up, people, while it is cheap. Card is literally the stones. 3 Twin Twister, very important in this deck. Helps you get rid of back row in the mirror match, and good against rogue decks too. So staple at the moment. If the format develops into more Thunder Dragon based decks, and it may not be a staple card in the main deck, but you'll end up losing a rogue deck, so questionable, but right now necessary. So your 2 traps, you have the counter trap, which is like your Solemn, and then this is like your Icarus attack. Most of you should know what these cards do. So Icarus based on your link rating, and then Solemn Judgment. 3 Machado's Rich, so we have 3 infinite impermanents, so he can own these. I know most of you can. Getting a reprint soon, so luckily for you guys out there. then your Solemn package, which is super important in this deck because you want to be able to stun your opponent because you're getting so many free cards off of one card. The more stun cards you have, the more more odds of you winning. So this deck usually just like I'll give you an example, like your hand that you kind of always want and you want to find ratios of having it is a way to get to Gazelle or a way to get to debug or just you want to have debug, Terror Top, you know, like Hand Trap, you know, Call by the Grave, Twin Twister, and any trap card, turning them around so you guys can see. So like this is kind of like a basic hand of ideal stuff you want in your opening hand first turn. You know, going second, you want more hand traps. So this is just like the first iteration of the deck. I've heard iterations like that you can do where you play you don't play any like trap cards other than the searchable ones, and then you max out on hand traps like Ghost Spell and Ghost Spell, Ghost Ogre, and you just play like just hand traps, and you don't play this card, you don't play this card. So like you have a lot more room for counter cards. So I'm into that build. Oh, and you play like Psychic Wielder, and you play this a lot of level 3 cards with your level 3 hand traps, and you play like just a bunch of like cool cards like that that are counter to your opponent, and then your 1-card engine is what gives you the resources. So it's kind of basic, simple math. So you have your fusion. This card can pump out so much damage, it's insane. It's a good going second card, and it actually is what usually causes your opponent to lose, because if they leave anything in attack position, this will literally take their this single-handedly would take their life points down to 0. Stalio, which is like your invoker, probably the most insane Xyz monster in the game right now. This is against the new Thunder Dragon variants people are playing. They're very graveyard based, so you have to play this right now. If not, you are crazy. It's way better than Tapper 3 Sunlight Wolf. Get these two, they're gonna go up. Get them while they're cheap. Staple in the deck. It's what lets you add stuff back from the graveyard. It's heart of the deck. This is something cool Konami did. They did for the first time ever in a structure deck an alternate art version, from what I know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've never seen this myself. So you have an Ultra Heat Leo and a Common Heat Leo. And Heat Leo, we know, is very important in the deck. Not like obviously what makes the deck, but very important for the link engine. And then we have the easiest resource for 1 card, 1 level 4 lower Cyberse monster, and it adds you the field spell, and it protects your monster from being destroyed by battle when it's in the graveyard. I think it's by battle or card effect. So yeah, this card is insane. And then we have the you can always change this up. So we have our Transco Talker that can revive our Update Jammer, because this easily is like 8,400 damage, around that. And then we have our Nightmare Engine, which you need these for tight situations. So the only card I would probably say it's questionable is this. And if you have a Boral Sword, you kind of don't have to play this, but we're not all fortunate enough to have Boral Sword. Sorry guys, card that got left out on the mix, my bad. It's the Foxy. Foxy is really important for destroying face of spell and trap cards, and it's an Excavator. So 2 of, maybe put 3 in the level 3 build that I'll show you guys in a bit. So yeah. So some takeaways from the deck profile. It's just a great deck. It's very similar to Zoo. You'll see that when you're playing the deck. Super cheap. It's gonna cost you 30 bucks to make a competitive deck. Obviously outside of the structure decks, you're gonna have to probably spend around a couple $100 just to make it finalized for high competition level. I'm not here to show you guys, you know, some casual stuff. I'm a high competitor right now, so I'm not into just telling you guys, hey, do the budget stuff. I would say invest a little bit into the high-end stuff, and then you'll have a competitive deck that will end up giving you more money in the long run in your tournaments. So just want to give a couple shout outs to Konami. I think they're doing an excellent job with their marketing and their product releases. Their events have been amazing. Chicago was amazing. A little bit of flaws here and there with the judging, but I think once they tweak that up, it's going to be, YuGiOh is just getting great right now. I can't complain. I want to give a little bit of shout out to my friends. Kamal Crooks, best player in the game. Give a shout out to my boys that went with me to the regional. Shout out to Machado for always doing everything he can for me, even though he pisses me off sometimes. I love him. Shout outs to Victoria. This is the girl I'm talking to. She's beautiful. Shout out to Gabriel Molina. Shout out to Peter Katani. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys want some more deck profiles on certain decks, just ask me. I'm gonna do deck profile on my top 8 regional deck. It's probably just gonna be a net deck of Kamal basically. I have my own takes on the deck too that I want to showcase because I really feel like that deck is tier 0. It's just a sleeper deck. Nobody knows about it. I know it's big words to say tier 0, but we'll see with Salamangreats what happens when this deck is actually legal for play. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do an updated Salamangreat deck soon as well. So my take, like this is very generic. So see you guys later. Comment below and see you at the PBG tour.